Hello everyone, it's History Behind the Warrior, and welcome back to another Tekken 8 video. With us a week out from Tekken 8's release, and the saga between Jin and Kazuya having concluded, I figured that today it would be the perfect time to sit down and talk about a surprise reveal in the Dark Awakens story. One that I definitely didn't expect to see. A remnant of a lost past. A mysterious, elusive character of the franchise, Angel, or as we do see in Tekken 8's story, Angel Jin. Now Angel is an old, and I mean very old character within the franchise. One that actually has been as elusive and mysterious as Jun Kazama. But why has this so been the case? Especially for her somewhat narrative significant role in Tekken 8's story. Well, that is what we will be exploring in today's video, as well as her relationship with the Devil Gene. With that being said, it is worth noting that 1, this video will be very spoiler heavy, and 2, this will be a hybrid video of sorts, as I will be strongly focusing on the Angel character, and then how she's implemented in 8's story through Jin Kazama. So before we do begin, I do in fact strongly recommend checking out the history of Jin, Jun, and Devil Jin video, as it will paint a more full and complete picture of this tale, filling in gaps in areas that I won't be mentioning here. As like I said, I will be strongly just focusing on Angel's character. But just before we do kick off, I do want to of course say thank you for all of the love and support on the most recent Reino video. And if you guys are really enjoying this sort of content and wish to see more, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and tick that bell to stay up to date with everything we have going on. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into things. Now Angel makes her first appearance in the franchise via Tekken 2, and she is quite an interesting character in the multitude of ways. As during this time, the Devil Gene, or the concept of the devil, was largely a fluctuating idea, bouncing between being a genetic anomaly and something supernatural in nature. Something that would in fact be later intertwined later down the line. But early on in the Tekken franchise, Kazuya was depicted to have a duality of sides. His devil form, which represented his darker half, who was at the time depicted to have full control of his body. And then there was Angel, interpreted as the physical manifestation of the good in his soul, having manifested in an angelic form. And this is also largely reflected in battle, as Angel's moveset is a carbon copy of Devil Kazuya's, despite her rather important role to that of Kazuya's actual character. It is not her that is responsible for attempting to cleanse Kazuya's soul. Instead, it is that of Jun Kazama, of the fabled Kazama line, who yearns to relieve him of his darkness. Yet these efforts would be in vain, as he would go on to continue his villainous conquest. Now, in some other iterations and translations of this, there is quite a common interpretation that Jun's cleansing of Kazuya's soul would actually lead to the physical manifestation of Angel, a physical counterpart that would attempt to take his body back. Yet, ultimately, much like Jun, does fail in this endeavor. So there are two different, yet very similar origins for this character. What's very interesting though, is that despite Angel's appearance, she would actually be later retconned by Harada, Tekken's director, whom disregarded the character's canon appearance, and even severed her ties to that of Kazuya and the Devil Gene. Thus, moving forward, she was kind of removed from the main timeline and canon, not truly being revisited in the mainline series until Tekken 8. However, this didn't actually prevent her from appearing in other installments, as she would be playable in Tekken Tag 1 and Tekken Tag 2. But keep in mind that the tag series themselves exist completely outside the mainline series. Whilst they simultaneously run alongside the main canon, they exist in their own parallel universe, where canon isn't prioritized, hence the large roster and feature of characters whom are dead. So with freedom in mind, Angel would return in the tag games, with her objective and origins being largely the same as that of Tekken 2, because in her tag ending, she is able to battle a Devil Kazuya, fully defeating him and seemingly purge him of the devil's influence. Due to the retcon nature, we don't actually know if this truly is the case, such as if she was able to purge the devil form from his being, or unite herself with him to balance out that darkness, as she does disappear when he awakens. So due to the scarce nature, this is largely left up to interpretation. Of course, Angel would appear once again, but this time in Tekken Tag 2, where not much has really changed about the character, still lining up with her origins of Tekken 2. In this installment, Angel can be seen featured in two different arcade ladder endings. One in Unknowns, where she's able to purge Jun Kazama of the dark spirit's influence tainting her, and then of course, in her own arcade ladder ending, where she can be seen battling Devil Kazuya, eradicating the devil gene from his very being, and leaving him to rest. Now this wouldn't be the only bit of non-canon expansive material she features in, as she makes two appearances in two spin-off comic book series, Tekken Forever and Tekken by Titan Comics. In Tekken Forever, she plays an extremely minor supporting role to that of Jun Kazama, who at this point in time is somehow under the influence of Unknown, seeking to save her by removing its control. Now, in terms of timeline and where this takes place, we really don't know, as it's never truly elaborated on, but seeing as it was released in 2001, it can be believed that these events took place between Tekken 3 and 4. Sadly, this line is never truly explored, as it would only have one issue before its cancellation. Moving on, we do have Tekken by Titan Comics, a spin-off series that serves as a sequel to Tekken 6 story, whilst strongly deviating away from the isolated Mishima narrative of 7. Here, we come to learn that after Jin's downfall, the Mishima Zaibotsu is once again reclaimed by Heihachi Mishima, and with access to all of his valuable assets, he finds a captured angel, someone that Jin somehow acquired during his time as head of the Zaibotsu. The details are never disclosed as to why or how this is possible, only that in Heihachi's control, he seeks to use her as bait to draw out Jin, even utilizing her power to try to end him. Eventually, this connection is broken, and Angel is freed of Heihachi's control. Yet, still furious at Jin Kazama, she would use her angelic abilities to revive his dead allies, infusing them with her power to fight Jin, Kazuya, and Heihachi. This insane battle draws out Devil Jin, who is then forced to fight Angel, which only ends in a stalemate, as the explosion in their clash leads to Jin disappearing once more. So whilst Angel's role in this comic is quite important to the plot, the conclusion of it doesn't at all impact the greater narrative, as she's unable to cleanse neither Jin nor Kazuya, and it ultimately ends in the same way that Tekken 6 does, as Jin does disappear. So this currently covers everything we know of this particular Angel. But with Tekken 8, we do have a very new and reimagined interpretation of the character, because instead of Angel being its own being, it would instead become a part of Jin, playing off older existing ideas from Tekken 2. But first off, how exactly is this all possible? Well, during the course of The Dark Awakens, Jin actually loses control of the Devil Gene, being restrained from using its abilities. Thus, because of this, he is forced to travel out to Yakushima, his birthplace and ancestral home of the Kazamas, in order to tap into its spiritual lands, so he can finally confront his darker half. And that he does through an arduous journey of self-reflection and acceptance. So by the climax of the game, Jin is finally able to utilize the Devil Jin form. Yet, it still isn't enough to go toe-to-toe with Kazuya, whom at this point had absorbed the progenitor of the Devil Gene, Azazel. as the land of Yakushima is almost destroyed, with Kazuya casting a death ball upon his son. Jin is fortunately able to tap into those lands once more, meeting his mother on the spiritual plane. Now, whilst not verbally explained, and if anything, is more of a visual representation of what I can understand, Jun is able to perform the purification cleanse and wipe out the demonic features of the devil gene, allowing Jin to obtain the new form of Angel Jin. It's never revealed if such a transformation was possible due to the power of the cleanse, or Jin's control of the devil gene, or even the Kazama blood in his veins. But either way, Jin is able to fully obtain a new and significantly stronger form, discarding of the death ball as he battles Kazuya once more. And this is a fight of epic proportions, so explosive that it literally takes them to the stratosphere where both sides can fully let loose, only climaxing with both charging a punch that would eclipse the world beneath their wings. It's a clash so mighty that it's able to fully eradicate the devil gene from both, allowing them to have an even bout as they plummet to earth, giving Jin the win he so desperately yearned for, and somewhat fulfilling his mother's desire of cleansing Kazuya of the devil gene. So the creation of Angel Jin is ultimately a culmination of long-lasting ideas, having taken form in their own unique way for the mainline canon. Whilst I can't say if Angel was ever that popular of a character, as I was first introduced to her through Tag 2, her significance and importance to the main overarching narrative cannot be denied. Whilst admittedly, it's a shame she's remained non-canon for so long, I'm still very glad that at the end of the Mishima saga, her legacy could live on through one way or another. If anything, it's just nice to see Angel be reintegrated here. So, with that said, and everything in mind, would you actually like to see the return of such a form later down the line? Or would you like to see the Angel of old actually make a true canon appearance here, seeing as we have a new successor of the Devil Gene in the form of Reina? Would you like to see its counterpart pass on to someone else? Or would you like to see Jin retain it? Please do comments down below, as I'd love to hear what you have to say, especially in the aftermath of Tekken 8's story. But with that said, that has been it for me. So as always everyone, stay strong, stay well, and keep on fighting. I'll catch you all in the next one.